Good morning, YouTube. This is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of Warp Divisions. So I been up because I wanted to wait for my fiance to come home from work. So we're gonna get some breakfast together and then we're gonna go sleep for the rest of the day. So happy Wednesday to everybody. There's a lot of good stuff coming today, but there has been one thing that has been not revealed. Perhaps I missed something, but the UR Vision card has not been revealed. So I'm not sure if I missed it in the video itself from the official channel, or that was never meant to be released today and it was meant to be released next week, which probably makes some sense if it's released next week. But that kind of leaves me in a tough position to summon or not for Little Leela. But let's go over all the different changes that's happening today. Now, by the way, I'm not going to be reading off everything because most of the stuff we've already gone over on Monday. So to save you guys some time, save me some time, I'm only going to go over some of the stuff that I see as changes that perhaps that's already been implemented, or that's something that they didn't cover in terms of notices. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Free stuff, mini pods, faint memories, buy those with gold. I mean, look how much gold I got, right? They gave us, I think, 120 million gold free today. So there's no excuses for you not to be buying those things. The tickets are back, the MR tickets, in which you have guaranteed MR units. And then, of course, once you reach that meter, you can go ahead and get an UR. And this is, I think, the third round. So I'm not going to be doing this anymore because I think on my spenders account, I'm really just going to concentrate on building UR units and building UR vision cards, right? Because I'm a spender, and honestly, that's the only thing I really am thinking about it right now. I won't be thinking too much about the lower rarity units because I would be doing that on my free-to-play account. So now everything's working out the way it's intended. I'm not really going to talk too much about any of this packs. A lot of it is old. A lot of it is just rehashed over before. I think at this point, most people who play this game kind of understand how value works in terms of if they feel like everything is worth it or not. And I think the rest of the stuff is also self-explanatory because it's pretty much the same thing every single week now. They give you a bunch of memories, they give you a bunch of eggs, they give you a bunch of cubes, and then adamantines, and of course you have to buy those with gold. And now that you're fully armed with lots of gold, none of these should be an issue for you. Feature units obviously going to be Little Leela and Ryu, and there's quite a few ways to get a lot of shards. And I'll get into the details of all that in a little bit here. A lot of stuff here, pretty much. If you do decide to summon for any of these units, you can simply build them by buying a lot of the stuff from here to save you a lot of time from farming. Today is water day, so don't forget to get your Glaciala and of course Aldira shards. So in the Mog Shop, I noticed there's an October Summons Metal B part. If you decided to summon for these units, check this out. If you summon 20 times, which equivalent to 40,000 gems, and you didn't get this unit, you have opportunity to simply buy it from the shop. And of course, the additional metals, if you did happen to get the unit, you can buy additional shards. And that's about it for that shop, and nothing else is pretty much new. Everything is about the same. JP, reruns, and books. Not much to go over here since everything hasn't really been added in terms of any brand new events. So it looks like this week is going to be a very calm week for us, and perhaps next week we may be getting something a little bit more hectic. But I think there's a good change of pace for a lot of us who've been kind of working hard on the raid perhaps. And if you didn't, at least it's a good time to kind of just casually farm for some recipes that you haven't gotten before, like the Coral Sword, the Platinum Mace, the Sleep Sword, and the Golden Axe. And it all makes sense because obviously the two units they're featuring right now, you can farm for some of the weapons for them. Halloween campaign part 1. So you get limited, which is redundancy 3 times a day. But this is very interesting, okay? This is much needed, I feel like, because I've been just kind of dreading farming some of the harder content because I didn't want to keep rerunning them over and over. But they're giving us 10x summons 3 times a day, and you can get all these hard to farm materials. So let's go ahead and test our luck first. I'm looking for some fire megasites. I've been farming the Chocobo Expedition for literally 2 weeks, and I only got 1. So this hopefully will take care of it in one shot. And I have 3 chances every single day. And I didn't get it, that's okay. So I got, what is this? I got water, and I got, yeah. So this is a pretty good, man. This is pretty sweet. I hope they give us this all the time. Make life a little bit easier, but don't forget to do this 3 times a day. And as I mentioned before, you're guaranteed this. Now on my free-to-play account, this is perfect because ideally I don't want it for the meter to fill up. I just want to keep getting MR guaranteed so I can keep getting shards for potentially some units I really want to build. But for Spender's account, I guess I don't really care either because I'm not going to buy those tickets. Now I've been told that is a good deal, but I think many of us are learning that having too many units is kind of not really a blessing. It's more of like a troublesome thing you have to worry about. Each day you're thinking, oh man, which unit I want to keep building, etc, etc. And then to avoid that headache, I'm sticking to specific units I'm going for, and those are the only units I'm really going for. And none of these extra bonus URs really matter because a lot of the units I'm going to be getting from this moment on, I'm probably going to be ignoring them. So let's talk about banners though. This is kind of interesting Halloween campaign. This is kind of a weird way to insert the 5-step because I checked it out on the drop rates. You actually can get Little Leela and of course Ryu. So that's pretty interesting here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon on this the first 2 steps because essentially you don't get the rate up on it, but you have a tiny % chance to hit the jackpot. And if I hit the jackpot on one of these units, you best believe I'm going to build them. And I think I am going to go for Little Leela. The more I think about it, like I'm really after limited time units and I really adore Little Leela, okay? I'm not going to lie. I think the zombie unit is really good for PvP, but I think Little Leela is actually really good for PvE. And although I do have Ayaka, I really want Little Leela and Ayaka because why not, right? If you love units, you should just go and build them. Don't worry too much about, you know, things that can kind of make a little tiny difference here and there in terms of min-maxing, right? If a unit is super good for PvP and you're into PvP, get it. There's no reason not to. But if you don't care about PvP like me, then perhaps Ryu isn't that big of a deal for me as of this time. So I am going to summon for those. I just haven't really decided if I want to do that now or if I want to do it later tonight. I think it's best to later do it tonight. I'm not really feeling for it right now. But I'm definitely going to be doing her, I think, for sure. And I think when the vision card comes, I really have to wait to see if the changes are made in the favor of it being the way it is, or weaker, stronger, whatever the case is. And I'll make that decision if I want to get that card. I know for sure I'm going for Kane, and I think the addition of the 2 Halloween units inserted at the moment that is inserted now, rather than going by the JP timeline, perhaps going to change a few things here and there. And I think the biggest thing is, I think Rosa kind of maybe got watered down a little bit because she was supposed to be one of the better healers. But Little Leela is going to be potentially the best healer in the game because of all her instant heals. So I think I'm going to completely skip Rosa. I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably concentrate on getting Cecil and then concentrate on getting Kane so I can get Kane and his spear. And I've been told that it's going to be the box campaign rather than one of the raids. I thought it was the raid before, but maybe I've been kind of twisted in terms of getting my facts straight. And that's okay to make mistakes. And I think that's the beauty as a content creator. If you're dead wrong, there's plenty of people that are going to be quick to try to correct you. And I think that's the beauty of it because I love it. Well, I don't love being wrong, but I feel like it's a good way for you to gain a lot of knowledge in the game because as a community, everyone should be helping each other out instead of, you know, being a hater or an attacker of sorts. But I think that's something that I'm actually looking forward to is definitely getting Kane. So since I'm spending, and I'm most likely going to be picking up more shifts along the way here, I think I'm willing to spend a little bit of cash to get Kane. And I think that's okay. And right now I don't really need to really quote unquote save a ton of gems. Alright, so all that stuff aside, I'm going to show you how you can get tons and tons of shards for these 2 units. First off, we already talked about this, the challenges. Is the bingo board, all you got to do is, if you get the unit, just do what you need to do, right? Level it up, play with the unit, get the jobs up, and boom, you get a lot of rainbows and you get a lot of shards. Obviously 120 shards, and we already went over this. And the great news is you get 2 weeks to get this done, so no rush. Second thing is you can simply purchase it. This week you get Little Leela, next week you get Zombie Ryu. And then of course you can purchase the shards from the shop itself. But this is the cool part, right? Just like Final Fantasy Tactics, you will be able to collect the shards from those units if you simply go by specifically their element. In this case, Little Leela is be the one I'm targeting. And then of course, you should be probably using your high expectation tickets to try to trigger it, especially if you have it on fever. As you can see, I have it on fever, but I already triggered all of mine. So so far I didn't get any. Completely forgot this is how it was done before during the Final Fantasy Tactic days, in which case all you have to do is get your unit to level 40, then do the character quest and make sure you get all the missions done, and boom, 40 shards. So technically speaking, you're going to be getting a lot of shards. We're talking about a lot of shards. I think easily you can get a unit within a couple of days to limit break 4. And then you can take the rest of the couple of weeks, kind of trigger the Whimsy Shop, do what you need to do, and of course, finish that unit off in time. Alright, that's all the time I have for this video. I wish you guys good luck for summoning. I'll probably be doing a video summoning tonight. And until next time, take care of yourself, all your loved ones. Nashtaters and his family out of here. Peace out.